Hello guys, welcome to Filament Daily. Today I want to show you another new example we added on our Filament examples. This is Timesheet form. If we take a look inside, we have the form to fill in the hours based on services with automatic calculations of the total hours of worked and total money to pay. As usual, the full source is available for Filament examples customers, but as usual in this video on YouTube I will show you the summary and the main things you need to know. First, the demonstration. So this is the project, the menu item of timesheets and the table of weeks, which are calculated automatically from database entries. So we have timesheets of date, service ID, and hours worked, and services are just random numbers with SEO, design, and other services. So the first topic we're going to talk about is how to calculate that table automatically and modify the query from timesheets to weeks, and then view timesheet. The second topic will be custom page, so it's not a typical edit page of timesheet. And I will show you how to build that inside of the resource of Filament. And then the third topic is automatic calculations of these at the bottom. So total hours work and total amount calculated. So for example, you can change the services and then the amount changes. You can increase the hours and then this and this is recalculated. And then of course, save works. So timesheet updated and you can get back to the table. Now let's dive into the code. So here I am in my timesheet resource of Filament, and first thing is empty form by default. And we will get to the form a bit later. Now for the table, we modify the base query quite a lot. And this is a raw query, which works, by the way, only in MySQL. And let me close the sidebar so you would see everything. So from timesheets, we select only Mondays, only distinct Mondays, and then group them by week start and date, which actually gives us the structure for that table. So this is Monday, just shown differently. This is another Monday, and so on. So if the timesheet entry exists for at least one Monday of that week would be displayed in the table. And now the columns, how we view those columns. We view that week, also customizing that return week start format to week start end of week. So we're using Carbon a lot here and also formatting. So this is how you end up with this value. Next thing is the action and view timesheet. So instead of default edit and delete actions and others, we have view timesheet, which is the action to the URL of self get URL timesheet with the record date. And that timesheet page is described a bit further here. So instead of the default Filament list create and edit, we have list and only custom page. And also can create is false, which means we cannot create a new week. Now, what is that timesheet page? This is a custom Filament page that extends the page and implements HasForms. So it's a Livewire component just using Filament forms. In the mount method, we get the data into the form. We're checking if it's Monday, then we're getting the records for that week. So date where between, then we fill in the form and also set the data for the service ID and hours worked from those records from the database. So this is kind of the constructor. Then in the form for each of the records, we build the schema array with group schema. This is quite complex, to be honest. Placeholder, which means it's just an information. Then select for services with live with calculations from the database in case that price has been changed behind the scenes while we're working on this form. Then also disabled input for hourly rate, and hours work is also live, which means recalculation of the things below. So form schema is those schemas above in the array. So it means that if we go here, so this line is one item in the schema array, and it actually relies on the fact that there's an entry for that for the database. So it depends on your scenario. Maybe your timesheet would look differently, but then basically we're building that schema line by line with array merge. On top we add placeholders, so these things on top, and then at the bottom we add another section of total hours and total amount again with calculations. Calculations are pretty complex with a lot of transformation back and forth, carbon, numbers, and stuff like that. So if you want the full code and play around with it, again, it's inside of filamentexamples.com. And then the save, we get the form data from getState, and then for each, we update things in the database and show the notification. And we call that save method with one action on the getFormActions at the bottom here. So yeah, this is the demo. You would think that such custom table and custom form is pretty easy to build, but actually it took us quite a lot of time to make it right and pass all the data however we need it. What do you think? Usual question, would you have done something differently? Let's discuss in the comments below. That's it for this time, and see you guys in other videos.